Howdy folks, and welcome back to another Out of Spec Renew video. And today you join me here at my new shop in North Carolina. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a tour and yeah, show you what we've got going on here. So like I mentioned there in the intro, this is my new shop. As you can see, I've got all of my cars here now. I've actually been here in North Carolina for about a week. Been working on a couple of little small projects, and it'll probably still be a couple more weeks before I'm really ready to start taking on customer work, because I still need to set up my shop and get some other administrative tasks performed in terms of paperwork and whatnot. As you can see, we have one two-post lift in here. I do need to add a second one. So that is something that I'll have to be doing here in the very near future. If anybody in the region happens to have a good hookup on a two-post lift, feel free to let me know. But yeah, definitely are going to be adding another two-post lift here. The rest of the space here, as you can see, is pretty empty because until yesterday, I didn't have my stuff yet. But my trailer full of everything in my entire shop just arrived yesterday, and so I'm going to be working on at least starting to get this unloaded today. The rear section here, of course, is kind of a mess because that's sort of all just the last leftover things that got thrown in, but the rest of it was pretty organized, all in palletized stacks. If you check out a previous video, I showed the sort of packing methodology process that I did for moving from my old shop in Portland, Oregon. But yeah, so that's kind of the idea here. I'll show you guys a little bit more on the inside here. So of course we kind of have the main shop space where we'll have the two lifts, and then, you know, sort of in the front area here, I'll be able to keep some of my tooling stuff. I'm still trying to decide how I want to lay things out in here. Of course, I need to find a place to put my toolbox, or really I have two toolboxes. I've got my diagnostic cart as well. I'm thinking that I'm going to put my main toolbox on this wall, but I could put it over here as well. I really just don't want to block the window into the office. But if I push it all the way this way against this wall, I suppose that would work as well. Back here, we kind of have a storage or a tool room, whatever you might want to call it. So in here, I can either put up shelving to store parts, store some of the tools that maybe I don't use as often, maybe have a workbench set up in here. So that's another thing that I'm just going to kind of have to think about as I unload stuff and try to figure out where everything's going to fit in. If we step back this way, of course I've got shop sink, kind of have a little kitchenette area here, which is a little bit of a mess at the moment. And then back here is my office, which looks very temporary and bare at the moment. But hopefully that'll be changing here very soon. I'll be getting everything nicely set up here. And yeah, that's kind of the idea. So while I've been here for the past week, I've been, you know, kind of working on getting stuff set up, working on a couple of out of spec project cars in the background, one of which you will probably see here very soon. Actually, that video might even go up before this one. I'm not totally sure yet. And I have a few different ideas in mind for some other stuff. There's a few of the out of spec cars that have some minor problems that we'll need to address. So I'll be working on that stuff sort of in the coming weeks until I really get set up to be able to start taking on customer work. Of course, all of my cars made it here unscathed, so of course I drove this cross-country from Portland. You'll be able to see that on an out-of-spec motoring video, in fact. I did have a few issues with it, but I made it here unscathed. And of course we have the Solectria Force, which I did get running in a previous video for the second time. And it is still running, but of course I have no way to charge the battery unless I pull charge it with the tow bar, which is a possibility, but I need to get a permanent battery solution set up for this. I think I actually have an idea in mind for what I want to do there. So hopefully I'll be able to get to that in the not too distant future. and you guys will be able to see sort of a more comprehensive battery build that's going to be a permanent solution for this car. I'm aiming to have somewhere over 100 miles of range, hopefully, with this thing, which really is all that this needs. 56 horsepower. Don't really want to be driving that very far. It's not really suitable for freeway driving, especially with the freeway speeds around here. This thing will barely do 70 miles an hour, if that, which is the speed limit on the freeways here. So anyway, not a freeway cruiser, but just a good car, just kind of to piddle around and do some stuff with. I do want to try and fix up some of the other issues with it. Of course, it's got lots of hail damage, which actually really doesn't show up that much on camera. It looks worse in person, but it's just covered in dents. Of course, the windshield's busted. And yeah, so sort of not a full restoration, but just kind of a quasi restoration. I want to get this thing cleaned up, fixed up, and sort of try and get it at least somewhat back to its former glory. And of course, I have my Fiat 500e in here as well. I have it on the lift because I was poking around underneath. I have some ideas for some modifications that I'd like to do to this thing. I'd like to put some aero covers underneath because this car does not have any aero shields. So the rear here you can see is just open, and same in the front. And adding those can actually do a pretty significant bump in efficiency, which other owners of Fiat 500Es in years past have done. So I'm going to do that. I also have a lowering kit for this car, which is in this box right here. So this was done by a company called 500 Madness, and they actually developed this lowering kit specifically for the 500E. So it's not just a generic Fiat 500 lowering kit. The spring rates and everything are actually specifically tuned for the 500E, which is actually very close to 50-50 weight distribution. So anyway, that'll be something we'll get to as well. I'm trying to decide if I want to also put some adjustable dampers on it, or if I'm just going to keep the stock stuff and just sort of keep it cheap. We'll see. If anybody out there has a set of adjustable dampers for a Fiat 500, let me know. But yeah, that is pretty much it for inside of the shop. I am going to get to unloading the trailer here, and I'm probably not going to film too much of that, mostly just because I want to get everything unloaded. But I will probably try to give you guys an update when I kind of have stuff a little bit set up in the shop, at least how I think that I might want it, and we'll see how all that goes. Well, folks, the truck is empty, or trailer rather. I do need to sweep some stuff up in here because there's a few things that got broken, but luckily not too many casualties in transit. I've actually got the shop all closed up now since I've got the AC running, which that's a nice benefit to have here. I did not have AC in my old shop in Portland. But we've got everything packed up in here. So all the pallets are in, and it's a little bit of a maze to get back here. The only real damage to anything, I had a couple small things that got kind of busted. This crate sort of fell apart, which I knew that I should have reinforced this, and then I decided, this press isn't too terribly heavy, and I figured it would survive the trip without collapsing, and of course it collapsed. So it actually went all the way through the bottom. You can see there's a BMW i3 motor in there that fell through the pallet as well. I have it just up on a couple of blocks of wood so that I could actually pick it up and set it down with the forklift. So that was that. This pallet, you can see, also kind of fell into this crate just because I didn't really have any other good support for it. And I didn't put a cross support in the middle. Probably should have done that. What else was a casualty? My toolbox did get a little bit banged up. Both the top and the bottom. You can see the top got a little bit bent out here. I think I can straighten that out all right, though. Yeah, there you can see it got bent too. And there's a couple spots on the front of the toolbox that got kind of the paint rubbed through on the battery table there. But all in all, not too bad. If I would have been a little bit more careful packing up a few things, I probably would have had less damage to stuff. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how everything turned out. And now it really just comes down to getting stuff set up, which that is really going to be the thing that's going to take a lot of time. I'm going to need to try and organize everything, put up some shelving and stuff. A lot of the things in here in terms of parts and stuff are probably going to go into the back tool room back there. Toolbox, I think I decided I am going to put all the way at the front of the shop here because that really is just the place that makes the most sense. So I'm actually going to push it all the way to that side. You can see it's actually kind of almost in position, but I'm going to push it all the way to that side so that it's against that wall. And then I think the top box, when I put it back on here, should still clear the window. I'll probably move this bench over a little bit, and this bench might just stay right here, right next to the toolbox. So that'll be kind of nice. And then diagnostic cart doesn't necessarily need to have a permanent home because the whole point of having a diagnostic cart is that I can move it around, even though I never really did in the past. But I really want to try and set this up to be a bit more organized than I was before. And yeah, so at least that's the plan. But it is going to take quite a bit of setup to make that happen. And it's going to take me a little bit of time to get sorted through everything here. But here very soon, I should be able to start taking on customer work. I already have a few jobs kind of potentially lined up for people that want to bring their cars in. If anybody out there is watching this and talked to me previously about bringing your car in, feel free to reach out to me again, just because, of course, I got pretty swamped with the move and stuff, and I may not remember to respond to every single person who talked to me already. So, yeah, that's kind of that. As I mentioned before, of course, we're going to have a second 2-post lift going in, so I need to find an option for that, and going to have to figure out a storage solution for parts. And I think I already talked about that a little bit, but I think what I want to do is put up some pallet racking outside. So we kind of have these walls on either side of the bay here. This bay over to the left side is actually Kyle's main bay. So he parks a lot of his cars and stuff in there, and outside of the bay, we've got more out of spec stuff over here as well. But around the back side of the building here, there's kind of storage and stuff just for some of the other stuff going on here at the facility. There's kind of a storage container here, some fuel tanks and stuff. But I think I might want to put pallet racking on this back wall, just outside, and then sort of enclose it. So it's fairly common for outdoor pallet racking to be a thing that exists. I think I would sort of build my own, so to speak, but usually the way that it works is it would be enclosed on 3 sides, so the back would be walled off. You'd have walls on either side and a roof on top of it, and then on the front side, just really big heavy-duty curtains just to keep the weather out. And then I think that would make a pretty good solution to be able to put battery packs and that kind of thing. As you can see here, we've also got a couple of gem cars back here. Yeah, I don't know if these will ever really be projects on the channel, but these have got some aftermarket lithium iron phosphate packs in them. But yeah, that pretty much does it for my shop space. The trailer will probably be getting picked up here in a couple days. It's actually Saturday, so they probably won't pick it up until Monday. But yeah, that is my new shop space. So a bit more setup, and we'll spend a bit of time getting things all ready to go here. And I am looking forward to getting starting with a whole bunch of new work and projects and all kinds of good stuff. So yeah, as always, thanks for watching.